Hi, this is Dr. Thomas, math instructor at Lawson State Community College, and in this presentation I will show you how to add and subtract integers. Now, what is an integer? An integer is just negative and positive whole numbers. So for example, on this number line, all of these numbers are examples of integers. So you have -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, all the way to the positive side of the integers. What can we do to integers? Well, we can add, subtract, multiply, and divide them. Each operation has different rules to follow. So all you have to do is remember the rules for each operation. We will add and subtract in this presentation, so I will reserve multiplication and division in the next presentation on integers. Now let's look at the rules for adding the same signs. If the integer has the same signs, we will sum the numbers and keep the same sign. So sum means add. So I decided to use that word sum because of the S. Just a way that you can remember that if you have the same sign, add. So same, sum. Okay, positive plus positive. Positive plus positive will give us a positive answer. Negative plus negative will give us a negative answer. And here are some examples. You have 5 and 8. Both of these numbers are positive. So you really don't need to know a rule for this one particularly, but it just justifies that that rule is correct because 5 is positive here and 8 is positive. Therefore you get a positive 13. Next we have -3 plus a -9. Notice here that both of these numbers are negative. The -3 and the -9. Since both of these numbers have the same sign, both are negative, you will sum them. So you will add 3 and 9 together. What do you get? You get 12, but we will keep the same sign. Alright, adding same signs examples. So let me stop here and go to an integers worksheet that I found on the internet. So let's look at number 2 for example. Here we have a -10 plus a -7. We're adding two numbers that have the same sign. So we will sum these two numbers and keep that negative sign. Thus we get -17. So when you're adding just those numbers 10 and 7, you get 17, but because both are negative, the answer is -17. Now look at number 4 here. 8 plus 7. Both of these numbers are positive. Therefore, we will just add and keep the positive 15. Alright, moving on. Adding rules with different signs. If the integers have the different signs, take the difference of the numbers and use the sign of the bigger number. Bigger number is positive, then your answer should be positive. If the bigger number is negative, then your answer should be negative. For example, -13 plus 7. Now, the 13 is the bigger absolute value number. Because it is negative, our answer is negative. And because we're dealing with different signs here, because 13 is negative and 7 is positive, that means there are different signs. We should subtract these two numbers and keep the sign of the higher number or the bigger number. Next, let's try 23 plus negative 8. Here again, the 23 is positive and the 8 is negative, so we have different signs, so we should subtract. Now here 23 is the larger number and it's positive, so that's why our answer is positive 15. Adding different signs examples. Okay, so number 1, negative 12 plus 7. What do you think the answer is? Because there are different signs, you subtract. Get 5, but what's the bigger number? It's 12, so therefore our answer is negative 5. Let's look at number 3. Negative 6 plus 12. Different signs again, so we do the difference or subtract, take the sign of the higher number. So 12 is highest here, therefore our answer will be positive 6. Subtracting rules. We're going to put a parenthesis around the second number and its sign, and we're going to change subtraction sign to an addition sign and change the sign of the second number to its opposite and follow the rules for addition after we do that. So same signs, add and keep the same sign, different signs, subtract and use sign of bigger number. Subtracting, some examples. So on the worksheet for number 12 we have negative 1 minus 10. What you're going to do here is first just put a parenthesis around the 10. So notice that the 10 is positive here. And on this side we have negative 8 minus a negative 6. So notice that the 6 is negative. Step 2 would be to change the minus sign to a plus sign. Step 3 would be to change that second sign to its opposite. So originally for number 12 we had a positive 10, but now we made it a negative 10. And originally on this one, which I forgot the number for it, we had originally a negative 6 and now it becomes positive 6. So now notice that both of these are addition problems. So this is addition problem and this is addition problem. So we're going to follow the rules for addition. Negative 1 plus a negative 10 is negative 11, and negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2. Alright, let's do a mixed review now. So I want to use this worksheet that I found from the internet, and 1 through 10 you notice it's talking about finding the sum. Okay? Finding the sum. So let's look at this. Number 1. Negative 12 plus 7. So we have different signs. So do the difference. Different signs do the difference. So if you subtract these two numbers, you're going to get 5. But we're supposed to take the sign of the bigger number. The bigger number is 12. Therefore, our answer is negative 5. And what you should do is go along with me or pause the recording and go ahead and work it out ahead of me and see if you get the same answers. Okay? Number 2, we already established that that was negative 17 because we have the same sign here, so we sum the two numbers or add the two numbers and keep the sign. Number 3, negative 6 plus 12. Different numbers. Do the difference. So we do the difference. It's going to be 6, but we're going to take the sign of the highest number, which is positive. 12 is positive here, so our answer is positive. Number 4, 8 plus 7. Really don't need a rule for that, but both of them are positive, so we do the sum. Same sign, sum. We get 15. 3 plus 4, we get 7. What about negative 45 plus 9? Now we have different signs here, so do the difference or subtract. And I know that my answer will be either negative or positive. It's going to definitely be negative because 45 is the larger of the two numbers. Now when I subtract this 45 and 9, we get 36. So the answer is negative 36 here. Let's look at number 7. Same signs, sum. Same sign, sum. Therefore, your answer is going to be negative 47. Number 8. Different signs. Do the difference. We're going to subtract. So we're going to get 20, but guess what? Our higher number is negative, so our answer is negative 20. Number 9. Different signs again. So we will subtract, but will our answer be negative or positive? Positive, because 50 is the bigger number and it's positive. So our answer is 16. 38 plus a negative 5. Subtract. But will our answer be positive or negative? It will be positive. 33. Now, let's go down to number 11, which states, find each difference. Put parentheses around second number and its sign. Change subtraction sign to an addition sign. Change sign of the second number to its opposite. And follow the rules for addition. Okay, let's get started. For number 11, we have 2 minus a negative 2. So we're going to change this minus sign to a plus sign and change the negative 2 to its opposite. The opposite sign will be positive. So really we have a 2 plus a positive 2, which is 4, because we have the same sign, so we sum. Number 12, we have negative 1 minus 10. Since this is a subtraction problem, we're going to change this minus sign to a plus sign and make that 10 negative. So now we have the same sign, because 1 is negative, it's negative 1, and it's negative 10 are both negative. Therefore, we sum the two numbers and keep the negative sign. Number 13, we really don't need a rule for that since 8 is bigger than 7, but you need to change the minus sign to a plus sign, make the 7 negative. Therefore, you have different signs here because 8 is positive, then you have a negative 7, so you do the difference and take the sign of 8 because 8 is positive and it's the larger number. Okay. Let's try working number 14 on another page. Negative 8 minus a negative 6. So, of course, it's a subtraction problem, but with all subtraction problems, we're going to change the minus sign to a plus sign, and we're going to change the second sign to its opposite sign. So therefore, we have different signs. We're adding numbers with different signs. We have a negative 8 and a positive 6. So we're going to do the difference since we have different signs. When we subtract, we get 2, but we keep the sign of the higher number, which is 8. So our answer is going to be negative 2. Let's try number 16. 48 minus a negative 31. 48 minus a negative 31. This is a subtraction problem. Change the minus sign to a plus sign and change the sign of the second number to its opposite sign. So it's now negative. We change it to positive. Therefore, really, we're just adding 48 and 31. We get 79. Let's try number 17. 18 minus 41. Subtraction problem. So we're going to change that minus sign to a plus sign. And in this presentation, it recommended that you put a parenthesis around the second number and then change your sign to the opposite sign, but you don't have to. Now, since we have opposite signs here, or different signs, we're going to do the difference of these two numbers and take the sign of the higher number. So which is the higher number here? 41 is. And it's negative, so I know that my answer is going to be negative. Now, to figure out the subtraction, you could just subtract 41 minus 18. Here, we've got to make this 1 and 11 and borrow from the 4 and make it a 3. So 11 minus 8 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. Therefore, our answer is negative 23. Okay, let's try number 19. Negative 1 minus a negative 3. Negative 1 minus a negative 3. Subtraction problem again, so we're going to change our minus sign to a plus sign and change negative 3 to a positive 3. We have a negative 1 and a positive 3. We have different signs here. So we do the difference. That means subtract the two numbers. We're going to get 2. And what's the higher number here? It's 3. Since it's positive, our answer would be a positive 2. Maybe one more. Let's try number 29. 2 minus a negative 9 minus 8. 2 minus a negative 9 minus 8. Okay, so order operation, let's work from left to right. So let's just work with 2 minus a negative 9. So we're going to change that minus sign to a plus sign and change negative 9 to a positive 9. What do we get? We have 2 plus 9. So 2 plus 9 is 11. We're going to bring down the minus 8. What is 11 minus 8? Is 3. So the answer is 3. So I'm going to scroll down this worksheet. I found this worksheet on the internet and they were nice enough to put the answers here. So I'm going to show you the answers. If you want to go ahead and work some of the other problems out and check your answers, then you can do so. So here are the answers. You can pause this. I'm going to scroll back up. And give you the worksheet again so you can work on this and check your answers. Okay? I hope that this helps. I'm just going to end this session. I hope that you do well on the exam. So I'm going to leave you with the integer song that goes along to Row, Row, Row Your Boat.